magner.com, click on that radio archive button, and you are all set. We're here with Jai Koch, the woman that turns stay-at-home moms and everybody else for that matter into real estate investors.
And she does it by showing them that they can do it.
That's right. I'm willing to share.
Right. Right. But, you know, here you are. You've been doing this for 15 years, and one of the first things you said this morning is, I get my hands dirty, but see, every time I see you, you're very well dressed. I haven't seen any dirty hands yet, right? And I see you are available in the evening, you're available in the daytime. We see, right? So you're not really hanging around over there.
I don't look like I'm suffering here.
You're not climbing under the sink fixing the plumbing. That's right.
No. But I do, when I say I get my hands dirty, whenever I'm turning over a unit, I do go and I inspect, and if there's some minor things like painting, I'll do it myself, and I get my kids involved. Actually, I just turned over a unit like at the end of the month, and you know, we were painting, I got paint in my hair and things like that, but you know, it's all good because you need to, I've owned that property for so long and I only see it so often. I do need to refresh my memory and get some fresh pictures and things like that. So it's good to do it once in a while. But I have a good list of providers that help me with the really dirty stuff. I'm not doing any plumbing, that's for sure.
So when we talk to somebody about why they're sitting there knowing they should be doing this kind of investment, but they're not doing it, one of the things they always bring up is, fear of a specific thing. And one of the things they bring up are horrible tenants who stay there forever, and you can't get them out, and they steal all your furniture and all.
Yeah, I've been very lucky, but I want to say it's not all luck. I think it's also the steps that I take, and I'm not saying that I've never had a bad tenant, but that was early on, and I've learned from my mistakes. And what I do is I have a pretty good system of interviewing tenants, but how I start is when I place my ads, I try. So my strategy is, and this is what we do in real estate when we're selling property as well. I don't want to be at the most expensive one in my range or in my market where I'm competing. I want to be priced at a point where I'm going to attract a lot of applicants, you know, good quality applicants that I can pick, you know, from the best. I have my choice, and I get 10 or 15 applicants, and I interview them, and I look for the best, you know, qualified one, and that's usually the one.
How much cheaper are you than everybody else who's got ads?
No, let's say $25. It's not going to change my life, but it will change my life if I get a great tenant. That's for sure. You know, I'd rather have $25 less, and it doesn't always end up being less because sometimes when people really want the place, they'll offer you more. But that's not my goal. You know, my goal is not to try and get an extra $25 or $30 from someone. I'm really looking for the best of all of the applicants. You know,
what are some of the things specifically that you're looking for?
So apart from their qualifications, you know, I like them to have 2.5 to 3 times, you know, the monthly rent, you know, their income to be at least 2 to 3 times more than the monthly rent. I don't want to have them struggling to pay the rent. I look for stability. I look for how many times have they moved in, you know, the last few years, and how many times have they changed jobs. And I ask them about their previous landlords and any, you know, any issues that they may have had, and I try to read between the lines and see if this is a high maintenance tenant that's going to give me problems. And I try to talk to them in conversation and get, you know, a feeling on, you know, whether this is going to be a person who's going to call me about fruit flies, you know, in the middle of the night, or if this is going to be the kind of person who's going to actually help me maintain the property, which I've had. You know, I've had tenants actually paint my property for free because they wanted it so badly. You know, because of the steps that I take to get all these people wanting to rent this place from me. I've had, you know, people improve my property at no cost to me, and I'm still having relationships with these people after they've left, and they paint my other properties, and they're, you know, pressure washing things. So that's what I look for. I look for people who are qualified financially, who are stable, and who have, if, you know, it's a bonus, it's not a necessity, but if they have the ability, if they're handy, if they have the willingness to help. I have another tenant who's very handy, and he's amazing. I mean, he's fixed things, and he just buys the part and sends me the receipt for the Home Depot bill. So that makes my life easier. I mean, obviously, if I don't get a tenant like that, then I have my handyman and people that I trust.
You, I would inherit that handyman.
Yeah, of course. I'm willing to share. Like I said, I love the people that I found and that I work with, and I'll give you his number.
Cool.
If you buy the property from me.
Right. Sounds great.
How about your number, Jai? How do people get in touch with you?
Okay, so my cell phone is 305-984-6966. And you can also visit my website, which is www.realtorinmiami.com.
Beautiful. More with Jai Koch right after this. More Daniel Frischberg. More Money Man Report. More everything in just a moment. Don't touch that dial.
I hear the guitar myself.
Oh, man. All right, so we can form a band.
Right,
You can play the
that's
guitar.
right.
I'll play the drums.
Right.
I'll do the vocals.
We'll get the ladies singing.
Right.
Beautiful. Here we are in studio with Jai Koch here. So, Jai, why is it that people out there, they don't treat their real estate investment like a business?
I don't know why. I mean, I think they think of it as just this investment, and they don't realize that it's a business. You should treat it as if it was, let's say, a restaurant. I can use that example. You have these people coming in, and you want them to have a pleasant experience. You want them to come back. And so, I mean, obviously they're staying there. You want them to stay and enjoy staying there and keep renewing, because I don't like to turn over units. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion about that, but to me it's very costly every time you have to turn over a unit, because regardless of the condition, there's going to be something that you're going to have to do. You can't just have, sweep it and then give it to the next person.
You got to paint it again. You got to find a new person to get in there. It'll take a month or two or so.
Right.
And that's a month or two that you're not making money on your rent.
Right. If it takes, it doesn't take me that long, but most people it probably would. I'm pretty quick, but I'll save that for another show. No, but it costs money. You have to paint. There's going to be, and painting is expensive. I mean, it's over $1,000 probably. Depending on the size of the unit. Or if you can get it cheaper, that's great. But I mean, I haven't had much luck getting it much cheaper.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah. So, so that's an expense that I try to avoid. So I treat my business, with like service, it comes first. So, and then it also, if you look at it this way.
What do you mean service comes first?
Well, service, because
you're treating your customers.
I'm treating my tenants like they're my customers. Obviously, if there's an issue, I have to be firm sometimes if they're doing something that's wrong. But even in that, I treat them with respect. I always say please and thank you. I mean, words go a long way with how you talk to people. So you can say something and still get your point across, but you can do it with kindness and respect that they understand. You don't want to have a hostile relationship with your tenants. I have tenants for years and years that we have a great relationship, and they love living there, and I love having them, and they're taking care of my property. I mean, it doesn't have to be this contentious relationship that people automatically associate. I mean, the landlord hovering over, the tenant cowering in the corner is this image that a lot of, people think, but that's not how I treat it at all. We develop, friendships. We're not calling each other and talking, but, during the holidays, I may send them a message, saying thank you for being, such a great tenant. I value, our relationship, and looking forward to, many more years, of continuing our relationship, or something along those lines. But I think that goes a long way.
It does. It's smart. I'm just thinking about all the places I've rented and how few little cards I've gotten saying
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then when they, I have, like I said, I have most of my tenants are the same tenants that I've had since I bought these properties. So we're talking about a long time here. If I've been doing this for over 15 years, but that's the thing. So when they call you, if they need something done, you got to take it seriously and just treat it like as if it was your home and you were living there. If you were at home and your dishwasher stopped working, how long would you wait to take care of it? you know, you would probably call like that same day within the
Right.
hour, right? So why should it be any different for my renter, my tenant? So I respond as quickly as I can. Obviously, the more urgent of a situation it is, the more, you know, then I would handle it faster. I mean, obviously, if it's an emergency, it's going to be taken care of like within minutes. But if it's something, you know, like the landscaping, you know, obviously I'll address it relatively quickly, but it's not a sense of urgency, you see what I mean? But I do at least respond to them and let them know that I'll look into it, or, you know, we can discuss it further depending on, you know, the nature of the request. But definitely don't ignore them and don't, you know, treat them harshly.
Treating them like customers.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. I hadn't really thought about it.
Right, that you want customers that you want to have come back again and again and again.
Yeah, and they do, like I said. So I have a track record that's proven and it's worked. And, you know, when I need something from them, they're there for me. Or if I need them to check up on, you know, something for me, or, you know, ask them, you know, they're usually pretty helpful, you know.
Well, heck, some of them are painting the place for free.
Exactly.
Wait, nice job, way to go.
Well, like I said, he's still doing it for me. He's not my tenant anymore.
And so what's happening is that all over the country and all over South Florida, thousands of people are saying, "Wow, I want to do it with her. I want her to do it. I want to join her." Right?
Well, see, my background has been in service, in the customer service industry and sales. So I apply those principles to everything I do, and it has served me well. So if any of you out there listening have those skills, you know, then put them to use, you know, everything that you do. Trust me, you get a lot more with kindness than you do with, you know, what they say, with sugar than vinegar.
Yeah.
It works. It really does.
Cool.
Jai, one more time, please. How can people get in touch with you?
So they can call me at 305-984-6966.
Deal here that Rubio may have struck up. Maybe how we can build the wall and make the country a little better at the same time. So more Money Man Report right after this. Don't touch the dial.